Keanu Reeves notices disabled boy being bullied by teenagers. What he does shocks everyone. Keanu Reeves had been enjoying a rare day off after finishing a morning meeting in downtown Los Angeles. He decided to take a peaceful walk through the nearby park. The air was crisp and the sun peeked through the branches of tall trees, casting dappled light on the winding path. For a moment Keanu felt at ease, far from the noise and chaos of his busy life. As he walked, the laughter of a group of teenagers caught his attention. At first it sounded harmless, just kids hanging out, but as he got closer their laughter turned sharp, biting. He slowed his pace, his instincts telling him something was off. In the middle of the group stood a young boy about 12 years old. His legs were shaky and he seemed to struggle with his movements. The boy's head hung low, his hands clutching tightly to the straps of his backpack as though it was his only source of comfort. The teenagers had surrounded him, their mocking voices rising above the hum of the park. Look at him, one of the teens sneered, pointing at the boy's unsteady steps. What's wrong with you? Can't even walk like a normal person? Another boy joined in, mimicking the way the young boy moved, exaggerating each step in a cruel parody. The rest of the group erupted into laughter, their voices echoing through the park. The boy's face turned red as he tried to retreat, but the leader of the group blocked his path. Where do you think you're going? Huh? You think you're better than us just because you're different? The bully shoved the boy lightly, but it was enough to make him stumble. Keanu's heart sank. The scene before him was more than he could bear. He knew all too well how damaging such moments could be, not just to the boy's confidence but to his entire sense of self-worth. Without hesitation Keanu quickened his pace and headed toward the group. As Keanu approached, his footsteps firm and deliberate, the teenagers noticed him. Their laughter died down, replaced by murmur of confusion. One of them recognized him and muttered, "Wait, isn't that the leader of the group?" Oblivious to who Keanu was, turned and smirked. "What do you want, old man?" he said, his tone dripping with mockery. Keanu ignored the comment, his focus entirely on the boy who now stood frozen, his eyes filled with both fear and shame. Keanu crouched slightly to meet the boy's gaze, his voice calm and steady. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. The boy hesitated, then nodded slightly, though his trembling hands told a different story. Keanu straightened and turned to face the group of teens. His expression was calm, but his eyes carried a quiet intensity that made even the boldest of them take a step back. "What are you doing?" he asked, his voice measured but firm. "You think this makes you look strong, hurting someone who's already struggling?" The leader scoffed, crossing his arms. "What's it to you? Hune's just a loser. We're not doing anything wrong." Keanu's gaze didn't waver. "You're doing more harm than you realize. Every word, every shove, it sticks with him. Do you want to be the kind of person who makes someone feel worthless?" The boy stood silently, his hands clenched at his sides. His shoulders were hunched as if he were trying to make himself smaller, less noticeable, but Keanu saw the tears brimming in his eyes. The way he bit his lip to keep from crying, it was a sight that broke his heart. Keanu glanced back at the boy, his voice softening. "You're not what they say you are," he said. "You're stronger than you think." The boy looked up at Keanu, his expression a mix of disbelief and gratitude. No one had ever stood up for him like this before. For a moment the world seemed to fade, leaving just the boy and this stranger who somehow understood his pain. Keanu turned back to the teens, his posture tall and unwavering. The leader, though still trying to maintain his bravado, began to falter under Keanu's steady gaze. "Why don't you mind your own business?" the bully snapped, though his voice lacked the confidence it had earlier. "This is my business," K replied calmly, "because every time someone stands by and does nothing, they're letting this kind of behavior continue." Not today, the other teens exchanged uneasy glances, their laughter long forgotten. The weight of Keanu's words hung heavy in the air. One of them, a girl who had been standing at the edge of the group, muttered, "Maybe we should just go." The leader hesitated, torn between his pride and the growing realization that he was outmatched. Finally, with a frustrated grunt, he stepped back. "Whatever, Leadin, get out of here." The group dispersed, their taunts replaced by silence as they walked away. Keanu watched them go, his expression unreadable. He wasn't angry, he was disappointed, but he also knew this was a small victory, one that could ripple out in ways he might never see. Once the bullies were gone, Keanu turned back to the bow. "You safe now," he said gently. "Don't let their words get to you. They don't define you." The boy looked up at him, his eyes wide with awe. Thank you," he whispered, his voice barely audible. I thought no one would help me." Keanu crouched down again, his tone soft but firm. "There are always people who care," he said. "You just have to believe that you're worth standing up for. Because you are." For the first time a small smile appeared on the boy's face. It was hesitant, but it was real. Keanu placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder, a silent promise that he wasn't alone. Later that day, a passerby who had witnessed the entire incident posted about it online. The story quickly went viral, with thousands of people praising Keanu for his actions. Comments poured in, with many sharing their own experiences of bullying and how much it meant to see someone stand up for the vulnerable. Keanu, however, didn't seek recognition. For him, it wasn't about fame or glory, it was about doing what was right. He hoped the boy would carry this moment with him, not as a reminder of his struggles but as proof that kindness and courage could change everything. The boy, inspired by Keanu's words, began to walk a little taller, speak a little louder, and believe in himself a little more. And in the end, that was the true victory. The true measure of a person's strength is not in their ability to fight, but in their ability to stand up for what's right, especially when it's difficult. In a world where cruelty often goes unnoticed, even a simple act of kindness can break down walls of pain and despair. It reminds us that no one should ever feel invisible or unworthy of respect, regardless of their differences. By showing empathy, compassion, and courage, we have the power to uplift others, inspire change, and make a lasting impact. Standing up for someone can be the one thing that gives them the strength to stand up for themselves. Remember, every small act of kindness creates a ripple effect that can transform lives and heal hearts. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful moments together. Let's spread kindness and make a difference.